What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Mel Torme. And thank you again to Kim for providing this compilation album, which is Mel Torme in Hollywood, with live performances included. And the next track seems to be written by Cole Porter, because the songwriter credit or songwriting credit is given to Porter here. But yes, Get Out of Town. So I feel like it's a phrase which can mean different things. It can be incredulity, like get out of town, that can't be true, even if you are accepting that what is being told to you is factual. It seems so far-fetched, so outlandish that you respond by saying they've just got to get out of town. Of course, it could be about getting out of town more literally, whether for push or pull factors, meaning something in the town that's happening that is a problem for you, so you got to get out of town, or getting out of town because there's the allure of the open road and by extension the idea of freedom or going where you please. So yes, I don't quite know what to expect because I don't know the Porter original. I assume this is something that was recorded prior to Mel giving this recording. Now, fair to say, this is 1992, and I know Mel was still around, and I think maybe even still singing in 1992, but certainly this would be after his rise to fame and his most, perhaps, prolific period. So, yes, ultimately, I don't expect this to be the original recording of Get Out of Town, but not knowing any version at all, I don't have any basis to work with. I'll just have to see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is Mel Torme and a performance of Cole Porter's Get Out of Town.
Now, let me see. Supposing we, just for the sake of expedience, adjourn up to the piano and do some tunes on the piano. Al Pellegrini this time on clarinet. Get out of town before it's too late, my love. Get out of town, be good to me, please. Why wish me harm? Why not retire to a farm and be contented to charm the birds off the tree? Just disappear, I care for you much too much. And when you're near, close to me, dear, we touch too much. The thrill when we meet is so bittersweet. Baby, it's getting me down. On your mark, get set, get out of town. Get out of town, get out of town. Please get out of town, be good to me, please. Why wish me harm? Why not retire to a farm and be contented to charm the birds off the trees? Just disappear, I care for you much too much. And when you're near, close to me, dear, we touch too much. The thrill when we meet is so bittersweet. Baby, it's getting me down. So on your mark, on your mark, on your mark, get set, get out of town. Get out of town, get out of town. Get out of town. Get out of town. Thank you.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you very much.
And Mr. Porter. So yeah, given what I caught from the song, it sounds like he's asking a woman whose presence is difficult for him to deal with. It sounds like there is an attraction, there is a connection, but she is maybe less committed to that connection being permanent, or it's not entirely satisfactory for him because it brings pain, it brings difficulties. So he sounds like he's saying, couldn't you just do me a favor, and if this is not going to be more than it is, could you just get out of town? Could you retire to a farm somewhere where your voice can charm the birds off the trees, but you don't have to put me through the ringer, and I don't have to be in this push me, pull you, I get close, it doesn't stay type of dynamic. And it sounds again like there has been some intimacy, including physical intimacy, when we get close, we touch too much and so on. But yes, it sounds like there's some flaw in the connection that is leading him to throw up his hands and just saying, can you get out of town, because it would save me some heartache. So yes, clever songwriting. I love the way he performs the vocals, where it's like he's almost deliberately never right in the middle of where you would expect the delivery to be. He speeds through some lines, slows down at other points. He's like dancing around the melody in a way that ends up being perfect, because it's like equally slow, fast, going higher, going lower. It's like he's so agile and so smooth with his delivery that it ends up being just perfectly balanced to what the song would be or could be or should be vocally if he was just hitting each and every beat exactly in line with the instruments. So it shows his not only agility but skill as a vocalist, in that he leaves you thinking he did it exactly as he should have, even if the whole thing was atypical or outside the normal rhythms you would expect a singer to do. And above and beyond that, of course, he has such a rich voice. When he goes lower, I feel he really earns that nickname of reputation, the Velvet Fog. It's this rich, velvety depth. But he then sort of rises quickly and can soften his voice in a way that shows his range. So I think we get a lot of that range over the course of this performance. I do love the intimate arrangement. It feels like it's just a handful of folks on a stage, not like a big band performance of a jazz standard, but instead someone on hand drums, someone playing a clarinet. What was it, Al Pettigreen? I forgot exactly what the name was. But playing a clarinet in a way that, as someone who comes from the world of classical music, typically when I'm hearing a clarinet or other woodwinds like an oboe, a bassoon, the clarinet here feels more jazzy and improvisational, and playing it in a way that's a bit outside the lines, if you will. So I enjoyed the clarinet performance in particular. I wonder if there was some other instrumental part that was beyond just, again, the piano, which is another notable flavor in this one. And I enjoyed the way the piano would come in just lightly at a couple moments dancing, and then it was like a longer flourish at some other moments. So yeah, just a really cool arrangement, a really engaging and charismatic, if not also eccentric, vocal performance. And as I said, clever lyrics that speak to an emotionally nuanced place vis-a-vis another person who sounds both like a lover but also a tormentor at the same time. So yeah, really cool live performance. And given the modest clap that he received, it sounds like it's a smaller venue, which again, I don't know if these were all, I'm sure this is something that Kim already said. I do apologize, and a lot of the print here is very small, and we all know that small print in the moment is a challenge for me, but I wonder if these were recorded at some different places, and whatever venue this one was performed at sounds like it was a smaller cafe-style performance, not a big orchestra hall or concert arena, but as I said, a more intimate venue, which, some of those classic or even stereotypical jazzy performances, whether at a cafe or like a proper concert venue, but with a smaller stage, a smaller seating arrangement, and so on, it feels like the perfect type of venue for this performance, or hey, why don't you just come up to the piano and so and so is going to play the clarinet and my friend here is going to be on hand drums, so it feels like that type of like, hey, let's just get up and use our talents to play some improvisational music even if we're playing pre-existing songs. So a very cool one. Loving this album. Once again, thank you to Kim and to those who've been following the Mel and other throwback deep dives excuse me, that I'm doing, which again includes Bobby Darin. I've recently started going through Natalie Cole, and specifically one of her albums that's based on all these old time tunes written or performed by her father. So yes, absolutely enjoying the throwback mid 20th century music, if you will. Let me know what you think of this one, and I will see you next time. Peace.